Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we take a look at headlines from our city, our state, our country. We take a look at what's going on in Puerto Vallarta. We take a look at your comments, your ideas, your suggestions, everything and anything we can get our hands on so that we can all enjoy an amazing life here in Puerto Vallarta. As a community of English-speaking locals, today is Saturday, July 17, and it is a pleasure, as always, to get together with you. And of course, as always, a couple of housekeeping announcements. If this is your first time, feel free to let us know that you are new by writing the word new in your comments, and that way we'll give you a proper welcome. Also, if you have something important that you wish for me to respond to or something specific addressed to me, it helps a lot if you add a letter Q at the beginning of your comment. And that's basically it. We have good news, bad news, thought-provoking news. We have a little bit of everything today. And I'm trying to start a poll, and I'm not sure. Oh, you got the poll and voted. Thank you. Okay, because I'm not seeing that the poll is active just yet, but I'm very curious as to what your responses on this are going to be, because this relates to, oh, okay, cool. There you go. We're going to let the poll fly for a second, and then we'll come back to it in a little while. But first, we're going to go through our news, we're going to go through our weather, and then we'll get to your comments and all that good stuff as usual. It is Saturday. It is Saturday, and I wonder what you're going to do today. Today is not Saturday in the park, but hopefully Saturday somewhere outdoors where it is safe. Anyhow, let's get started with the news, and we'll take it from there. Ay, Dios mío. Okay, so where are my news? Well, my news are in front of me. Let me just take a look at, oh, I don't have my news updated. Let me update my news. There you go. No, we cannot do that. Never mind. I'm just going to wing my news like I winged my news the other day because I forgot to put them in the proper place. But, just Monday, we told you that Puerto Vallarta went over 100 new COVID-19 cases reported on a single day, a record that Puerto Vallarta had never gone over. Well, not even a week later, the record has continued to increase, and now, yesterday, 303 new cases of COVID were reported in Puerto Vallarta on a single day. So it's not a good thing to look at, but it is the reality that we're living in right now, and it's something that we just need to be very mindful of because it is happening. Now, A lot of people, or some people, would be inclined to compare this to what's going on in other places in the world. Some people might say it's overkill that we worry so much about this. All I can tell you is that, well, this is what the sources, the news sources, are reporting for our city, and all we can do is to report these sources and not necessarily uh, compare or judge or come up with decisions as to whether this is good enough or bad enough when compared to other places. This is not what we do. All we can do is present the information as we find it. Although it is very sad to read this. We recently told you about a group of young graduates who came from Guadalajara to celebrate, along with hundreds from of students from other states. Well, and they got tested and they got positive. The plot thickens. Indeed, city health authorities confirmed the fact that these students came here, and the fact that many of them uh, stayed at the Crown Paradise Hotel in town. Apparently, the students purchased packages, travel packages, that included lodging at an all inclusive hotel and access to bars and bay cruises. According to this other article published by Contralinea, local authorities are well aware of which tour companies are involved, and which local hotels actually go after the graduation market. In a statement made by one of the infected students, he described how the tour operators indeed made sure that students were wearing masks whenever they were entering restaurants and bars and discos. But once inside, everybody did whatever they wanted to do. And that, if you ask me, makes sense to me. I mean, tour operators are not authorities, they're not parents. So it's not their responsibility to look after these students, particularly when the students sign waivers um, saying you guys are young adults, you can travel, you should know to take care of yourselves. And it is a tricky thing, you know. Do hotels and tour operators turn a blind eye when they receive all these groups? It's hard to tell, but it's just a complicated thing. But I don't think the situation is going to go away anytime soon. And if anything, it's bound to make hotels more careful at how they handle, in restaurants and venues, how they handle their guests or their clients when they walk into their establishments. I also wanted to let you know that the national COVID-19 stoplight gets updated for the following 2 weeks this coming Monday. Now, states like Colima have already announced that they continue in the yellow zone. Several other states that were previously in the green zone have gone ahead and announced that they are reverting to yellow, but not a word from Jalisco, at least not a word yet. I keep looking for news or statements from Governor Alfaro or for the stoplight itself to be updated, but nothing yet. Needless to say, Governor Alfaro usually makes statements on Sundays when he makes statements, but we haven't seen anything just yet. The official stoplight still shows the current situation, which still shows us in the green. There's Colima in the yellow. And we're going to do a comparison between this and the new one on Monday just to see how things changed. Moving right along, Banderas Bay restaurants are not happy with the latest restrictions on their hours of operation. According to Mario Nasser, who's president of the Banderas Bay Restaurant Association, who apparently are also authoritative health experts, the decision to limit their nighttime hours was, and I quote, another mistaken decision by the state of Nayarit derived from questionable advice. Nasser went on, pressing the government to explain why they make the decisions they make. And, well, I don't blame the restaurants for being unhappy, but then again, I never knew that restaurant owners were also scientists. And this brings up a delicate topic that took place yesterday. Yesterday, one of you viewers was kind enough to contribute a very powerful statement about COVID-19 vaccines and fertility. When questioned by yours truly, this statement was credited to a good doctor from Texas A&M University. We were invited to go and Google the good doctor for more information. I didn't because I know who I trust and I know where my sources of information are. But an astute viewer followed suit, Googled the good doctor, and it turns out the good doctor has a faulty track record at the Health Feedback webpage. Health Feedback is a worldwide network of scientists sorting fact from fiction in health and medical media coverage. But we are not going to show the report on the good doctor because we are not invested in shaming unless we can find a constructive way to spin the situation. Um, that said, another reader was kind enough to share with us this equally powerful essay from 2004 published by the National Institute of Health explaining why doctors are not scientists. And this should be a particularly useful read for those who swear by what their doctors tell them. Now, doctors not scientists? Well, I mean, some doctors are devoted to science, as in exploring and reporting and so forth. And so, oh, there you are, Kimberly. Yes, apparently the good doctor is, you know, has credibility issues. And again, the point of making this information available to you is not to shame the good doctor. We don't want to become a shaming program here at Coffee and Headlines. You occasionally send me photos of local businesses misbehaving, and I have even contemplated the idea of a segment called What's Wrong with This Picture to highlight the disregard for health guidelines. But do we really want to become Coffee and Headlines, a place where we shame everything or anything that moves? And Sean O'Brien is clutching his pearls because we're debunking conspiracy theories. No, seriously, you know, I know that there's a lot of things that are going on out there that don't make sense, and I know that there's discrepancies in opinions. But our goal here is to help readers know which news to trust. And when it comes to that, we have chosen to follow a few credible sources, including Dr. Fauci in the United States and our very own Hugo Lopez Gatell in Mexico. But, oh, excuse me for a second. Quick look at this question that I shared with you this morning because it is somewhat related to this whole situation. Looking at this business of unsolicited flyers at your doorstep, car windshield, or out on the public, 94% of you don't appreciate them. You don't like being given information that you didn't ask for. And this is a really interesting revelation for me because, and again, I don't expect the whole world to think and feel the way I do, but I'm going to share something with you, and you can think about this whether you want to or not. When we're invited to potlucks and we show up with whatever we brought, do we just leave the stuff on the counter, or do we talk to the host and say, hey, I brought some coffee because I thought it would go well? I mean, we don't just leave things on the counter, do we? And if we are visiting someone and have a thoughtful gift, or if we're getting together with someone, we usually say, I thought you would appreciate this. So I think it's fascinating how many of you don't like unsolicited information, and it is amazing to me how frequently we forward unsolicited information on social media. I constantly get, and I'm sure you do too, I constantly get information that I didn't ask for. I get stuff forwarded to me. The other day, a good friend of mine, I think I ruffled this friend's feathers because I said, we're friends, but you're sending me stuff to my personal Facebook that I don't even want to read. So without even saying hello or good morning or anything. So in my selfish mind, people that just forward things without saying hello are people that are more interested in their own agenda than in communicating with you. So I'm going to give that to you as food for thought. Are you the kind of person that just sends things forward and you think you've nurtured a friendship by just sending someone? And I'm not talking about close friends. I mean, I have close friends that know me well enough that if they see a sexy photograph of a nice tight butt or something, they'll just send it to me. They don't need to say, hey, we know you like tight butts, so we thought we would send you this photograph. I'm talking about people that, there are people that I have no relationship with on a regular basis, and I get flyers and I get things, and I keep thinking to myself, um, thank you, but no, I didn't ask for this. So, food for thought. If you don't like unsolicited flyers, if you don't like unsolicited information at your doorstep, in your windshield, as you're walking down the street, maybe we should all think twice before we just forward something to someone without having a gesture of trying to communicate and saying, hello, I hope you're well. I thought this would be something important to you. I hope you are as inspired by reading this as I was. Or is that too much to ask? You think about that while we take a look at the weather. And the weather is not even on. Let's turn the weather on. Boom, boom, boom. Where is the weather? There it is. In case you were wondering, yes, I can see into your soul, says the weather. The weather also says that it is currently 28 degrees out there, feels like 35. Our temperature in Fahrenheit is 83 degrees, and we have an 86% humidity right now. Our weather forecast for today calls for possible light rain in the evening, a high temperature of 32, low temperature of 24. Sunday, we can expect rain in the evening and overnight with high temperature of 31, low temperature of 24. That will be tomorrow. And Monday, we can expect a humid and partly cloudy day with a high temperature of 31, low temperature of 23. And that is our weather forecast. And now I have a couple of additional headlines that I wish to share with you before we dive into our conversation, our chit chat. The first one has to do with Mexico's Olympic team, which has arrived in Tokyo to participate in the upcoming Games, from which many athletes are already canceling appearances due to the fact that things are not quite in order at the Olympic Villa, with at least one COVID-19 case already detected. We wish our athletes well. However, we hope that Team Mexico is successful and doesn't come back. They come back with some medals and not with a disease. And last but not least, apparently the Grand Fiesta Americana Hotel in Puerto Vallarta South Shore will be no longer. Starting this coming month, the luxurious hotel will be operated by Hilton as the Hilton Vallarta Riviera All-Inclusive Resort, joining Hilton's two other luxury all-inclusive properties in Quintana Roo. They are both in Tulum. So that's that. I hope that their day pass continues to be as appetizing as it has looked like in the past. I've never done it, but I've seen photographs of that property, and it is absolutely beautiful. And that's that. Let me now rewind your comments and see who is here and what you guys are up to. It's always great to read all your good mornings from friends old and new. I noticed that there's a new person because I saw a comment scroll by, and I'm going to try to find that comment immediately. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Dave asks, is this the third or fourth wave? This is the third wave in Mexico, Dave. There he is, Javier Mendoza, new to the live broadcast. I've been watching on YouTube for a while. Love your show. Thank you very much, Javier. Welcome to the live experience. The nice thing about it is that we can have a little bit of interaction here. So if you have any specific questions, we're always happy to take a look at them. Mark asks, for anyone who got the COVID certificate online, was the information correct and complete? I asked because ours wasn't. Thanks. That is a great question, Mark. I know my sister sent me hers, and I totally forgot to erase her name and her specific numbers because of confidentiality issues. I was going to show it, and I know that my sister got hers with the accurate information. I'm sorry to hear that yours is not, and I wonder if there is a way to fix that information. If anybody here in the community has feedback, it would be so, so very welcome because this is going to become increasingly important. Um, Agree that chaperones cannot be totally responsible for the grads. You know, we all have this choice of walking into buildings and turning around if it doesn't look good. So for the people that sent me said that for the person that sent me that photograph of that popular bar in Emiliano Zapata where things were not proper, I sure hope that right after you took the photograph, you turned around and left because I mean that's really what we can do. Susan doesn't understand why they are not tested when entering Mexico like they do in the United States. I know they're afraid it will hurt the economy. Is this the reason? Well, Susan, I don't have an answer for you. Unfortunately, I'm not a politician. I'm not a policy maker. I don't know that it is as easily as saying Mexico doesn't test because it will hurt the economy. I don't think there is a country who that could possibly have such a simple reason in the choices that they make, and that is a very important choice. You're absolutely right. Um, let's see what else we have. Do. Oh, Sean, you totally made my day. I'm not wearing my pearls, but that was so funny. Um, Thank you for confirming my thoughts, Lorraine. I too, occasionally we will shame certain individuals like the lords and ladies from other cities. Occasionally we will remark on a restaurant when they're not posting their open hours and in hopes that they will realize that they can provide a better service. But no, we're not interested in bashing people or ideas. We don't come here to debate. We can certainly disagree, but we're not set up to be a huge debate operation. Let's see what else. A lot of information on flyers, and Karen liked my analogy. Oh, give me a break. First world problems come to Canada where you can stay home and get paid by the government. People is Mexico are working hard to make a living. Get over yourself. Alex, who did you direct that to? I would love to learn who that was addressed to. So, Alex, if you have further information that would help me understand what's going on, it would certainly be appreciated. Uh, let's see what else. The difference is that on social media, you have some control over what comes to you. Um, yes, I do, and I choose not to open a lot of things that I get, and that is an important difference for mental and health reasons, and for lack of time. I mean, I don't mean to burst your bubbles, but when I get information that I didn't ask for, I a lot of times I just don't read it. Um, but still, it's food for thought. I can't wait to watch the Olympics. I kind of get excited about the Olympics, John. I think it's going to be really weird this year. I hope it is as exciting as it has been in the past. Uh, Not sure what this aggressive comment is referring to since I was late. Are you guys fighting? See, I never can tell if you are arguing among yourselves. But if you are arguing among yourselves, please don't. This is not a place to do it. And rest assured, I will read your comments later, and I'll make sure to let you know that you are not in the right place if you came here to argue with each other. Let's see. Gary gives us some feedback. Oh, there is a second link on the email to click to report errors. I know someone that had an error and it was quick. It was quickly fixed. So there you go. There is a way to fix things that are not proper. Um, Hopefully that will take care of problems. Let's see. Oh, people's comments complaining about flyers, not you, my man. Well, the flyers to me, and I'm going to hold on to that idea for a second. And in case it hasn't been apparent, Coffee and Headlines, what we try to do here is create connections. So the only point that I'm trying to make by comparing flyers with forwarding jokes or quack doctors and their presentations and stuff like that. And I'm not talking about Texas A&M doctor. I mean, I received another doctor thing this morning that I was like, Lord have mercy. I cannot even pronounce your website. And you're a doctor attorney, and I'm supposed to believe your words. Don't get me started. I mean, forwarding things, it's a tricky thing, and that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. What else? What else? What else? I think we're at the end of today's broadcast. Tomorrow's a day off. What am I doing? I'm continuing to crochet my privacy curtain for my house, and again, I'm going to look at your show notes, at your comments after I upload the show notes. If you are disagreeing with one another, please do so in kindness. And that's basically it. The end. That's all. That's all I have. Be happy. Be well fed. Stay careful. Stay thoughtful. Stay horny. Stay positive. Stay all these wonderful things that I always wish you. And that's it. I'm rambling. Come on, end the show. Goodbye.